Tonight on the Black Channel, this was the scene in Washington, D.C. last night. This is the Washington Correspondent's dinner. And in the middle of it, they heard gunshots. Police came in, Secret Service came in. They rushed President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance and the cabinet out of the room. And that was basically it there. So we'll go ahead and get into some information here next now, including the suspect, one Mr. Cole Allen of Torrance, California. And what I want to do here, I want to get right into the manifesto part of it. I want to get right into his manifesto because he did leave one. What it said was, "Hello, everybody. So I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone whose trust I abused." So he did want to let you know that had happened. And by the way, this was him after they subdued him. He said, "I apologize to my parents for saying I had an interview without specifying it was for Most Wanted." Okay, so he does have a deadpan sense of humor. "I apologize to my colleagues and students for saying I had a personal emergency. By the time anyone reads this, I probably most certainly do need to go to the ER, but can hardly call that not a self-inflicted status. I apologize to all the people I traveled next to, all the workers who handled my luggage, and all the other non-targeted people at the hotel who I put in danger simply by being near. I apologize to everyone who was abused and or murdered before this, to all those who suffered before I was able to attempt this, to all who may still suffer after, regardless of my success or failure. I don't expect forgiveness, but if I could have seen any other way to get this close, I would have taken it. Again, my sincere apologies. On to why I did any of this. I am a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflects on me, and I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. Well, to be completely honest, I was no longer willing to a long time ago, but this is the first real opportunity I've had to do something about it. While I'm discussing this, I'll also go over my expected rules of engagement, probably in a terrible format, but I'm not military, so too bad. Don't worry, fella. It's more than it's hyped up to be. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, they are targets, prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary and to be incapacitated non-lethally if possible. AKA, I hope they're wearing body armor because center mass with shotguns messes up people who aren't. All right. Hotel security, not targets if at all possible. AKA, unless they shoot at me. Capitol Police, same as hotel security. National Guard, same as hotel security. Hotel employees, not targets at all. Guests, not targets at all. In order to minimize casualties, I will also be using buckshot rather than slugs, less penetration through walls. I would still go through most everyone here to get to the targets if it were absolutely necessary, on the basis that most people chose to attend a speech by a pedophile, rapist, and traitor, and are thus complicit, but I really hope it doesn't come to that. Rebuttals to objections. Objection number 1. As a Christian, you should turn the other cheek. Rebuttal. Turning the other cheek is for when you yourself are oppressed. I'm not the person raped in a detention camp. I'm not the fisherman executed without trial. I'm not a school kid blown up or a child starved or a teenage girl abused by the many criminals in this administration. Turning the other cheek when, quote, someone else is oppressed is not Christian behavior. It is complicity in the oppressor's crimes. Objection number 2. This is not a convenient time for you to do this. Rebuttal. I need whoever thinks this way to take a couple minutes and realize that the world isn't about them. Do you think that when I see someone raped or murdered or abused, I should walk on by because it would be inconvenient for people who aren't the victim? This was the best timing and chance of success I could come up with. Objection number 3. You didn't get them all. Rebuttal. Gotta start somewhere. Objection number 4. As a half black, half white person, you shouldn't be the one doing this. Rebuttal. I don't see anyone else picking up the slack. Objection number 5. Yield unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Rebuttal. The United States of America are ruled by the law, not by any one or several people. Insofar as representatives and judges do not follow the law, no one is required to yield them anything so unlawfully ordered. I would also like to extend my appreciation to a great many people, since I will not be likely to be able to talk to them again unless the Secret Service is astoundingly incompetent. Thank you to my family, both personal and church, for your love over these 31 years. Thank you to my friends for your companionship over many years. Thank you to my colleagues over many jobs for your positivity and professionalism. Thank you to my students for your enthusiasm and love of learning. Thank you to the many acquaintances I've met in person and online for short interactions and long-term relationships for your perspectives and inspiration. Thank you all for everything. Sincerely, Cold Force, Friendly Federal Assassin, Allen. P.S. Okay, now that all the sappy stuff is done, what the hell is the Secret Service doing? Sorry, gonna rant a bit here and drop the formal tone. I expected security cameras at every bend, bugged hotel rooms, armed agents every 10 feet, metal detectors out the wazoo. What I got, who knows, maybe they're pranking me, is nothing. No damn security, not in transport, not in the hotel, not in the event. The one thing that I immediately noticed walking into the hotel is the sense of arrogance. I walk in with multiple weapons and not a single person there considers the possibility that I might be a threat. The security at the event is all outside, focused on protesters and current arrivals, because apparently no one thought about what happens if someone checks in the day before. This level of incompetence, folks, I'm quoting his manifesto when I keep saying I'm quoting him. This level of incompetence is insane, and I very sincerely hope it's corrected by the time this country gets actual competent leadership again. If I was an Iranian agent instead of an American citizen, I could have brought a damn Madus in here and no one would have noticed. Actually insane. Oh, and if anyone is curious, is how doing something like, I'm reading this directly. Oh, and if anyone is curious, is how doing something like feels. It's awful. I guess he meant doing something like this feels. I want to throw up. I want to cry for all the things I wanted to do and never will, and for the people whose trust this betrays. I experience rage thinking about everything this administration has done. Can't really recommend it. Stay in school, kids. So that was the complete manifesto as written by Cole Allen, the would-be assassin, the latest in a string of people who have attempted to kill President Trump. I don't know if he's had the most assassinations ever. If he hasn't had the most ever, he's certainly second most ever. If he's not number one, he's definitely number 2. And so, Mr. Allen, if based on what happened to the second would-be assassin, the one who tried to kill Trump on the golf course down in Florida, yeah, Mr. Allen may be looking at a life or double life sentence in his case. So, ideology notwithstanding, I'm like, yeah, dude, get ready to hold this life sentence or this double life sentence. Nobody died, and that's not going to make a difference. Remember what we've always taught you all, government is not an organism that protects the people. Government is an organism that protects itself. So they can come to your house, murder you in cold blood. Your neighbors can do it, get a slap on the wrist. You try to do that to the people who really matter, and they will get you, you get a speedy trial. You don't get 5 or 6 years of fighting it. Here's your speedy trial, and here's your speedy life sentence. So you will be dealt with permanently. You'll be dealt with permanently. So, for those who didn't see that, I'm going to go through a few things here in particular so that you all can see exactly what occurred here and how it occurred. So, first, what we're going to do here, I'm going to first show you the before events here. There's actually some clearer video of him running through the metal detectors. Now, what he did was he checked into the hotel. He actually made a reservation earlier this month. Cole Allen knew that Trump was going to be showing up for the White House Correspondents' dinner. The presidents always do. So he made reservations at the Washington Hilton a few weeks ago in the month of April. So he made reservations at the hotel. So he was actually a guest at the hotel. Washington Correspondents' dinner is one of these few times when you know exactly when and where the president is going to be. All right, what happened was everybody's gone into the ballroom there at the Washington Hilton. One of the designated magicians is there showing Trump a magic trick. And about this time here, Cole Allen is making his way down toward the ballroom. Let me go ahead and show you all. Let me go ahead and show this next piece of video first, and then I'm going to show you the layout. So this is him over here on the left-hand side of the screen running through the detectors. He fired a shot or two, but that was him running through the detectors. It's going to go ahead and repeat itself here in just a moment. So everybody had their guns drawn after the damn fact, but there he goes. Straight through the metal detectors. So for those of you who have not seen this video, or you haven't, been keeping up with the events or were not aware of it, that's just showing you exactly what happened there. So there he goes through the metal detectors. He's on his way. And when you hear the gunshots and stuff, that's when comes the next part here. You see the Asian lady here, she goes on, they're hearing the gunshots now. They're like, wait a minute, what's going on? Trump is looking very nonplussed. He was very unexcited. I guess at this point he's used to it. Here comes the Secret Service, sir. We are not asking. Get up from this table. We are leaving. Trump is like, I want to stay. They like, no, you ain't. J.D. Vance, we're getting you out of here. And here come the complete riot-geared police around the table to cover his exit. So that happened there. All right, now here's the Washington Hilton floor plan. The 720 degrees of analysis you receive absolutely nowhere else. So as you can see, there's the foyer. You can see the foyer of the hotel, the elevator bank, the International Terrace East. And what they're showing there is that this is where the suspect was seen running by the security checkpoint. So what you saw when I showed you him running through the metal detectors and whatnot, that's where he was going. It shows you where the suspect was tackled at. And right next to that are the stairs going to the ballroom. So he was running in through here. He was heading toward the stairs. He was trying to make it through the metal detectors, get toward them stairs so he can get down in there and start hitting who he gonna hit. So that was basically what occurred. So if you were not aware of what the layout of the place was or where exactly he was trying to go to, now you have a pretty clear idea of exactly what it was. So when you see this particular video now you know exactly where he was going. When he goes out of frame, he's heading toward the stairs just on the other side of the picture here. But like I say, the further along you get, the more Secret Service and police and security there are. So as you can see, he was down in a matter of seconds. All right, let's go ahead and answer some of the questions some of you all up there might have had. All right, you see this picture right here. Some of y'all were saying, wait a minute. When he ran to the detectors, he had a shirt on. You see him over here and he doesn't. Yes, folks, that's because at this point he is without clothes. What? Yes, sir. At this point, once they got him tackled and subdued, they stripped him down. So they tackled him, subdued him, handcuffed him, and then stripped him down. So they've actually got him covered up over here. But in reality, it's like, no, we're going to do a body cavity search on you right now. So I don't think this was part of his plan. I think he had something a lot more glorious in mind, going out in the blaze of glory. I think he had something else in mind if the assassination attempt, quote unquote, failed. I don't think he thought he was going to get a taste of Epstein Island, but in any case, yeah, they tackled him and said, okay, let's see if you got any other weapons in here at all, anything. Oh, no, we ain't taking you down to the jail. I hope you got some clean underwear on because we're going to be looking here in just a moment. So, yeah, Oh, they're going to search him right then, right there. Oh no, you're not getting to a jail. You won't get there. We're checking you out right here, right now. Right here on this floor. So, I am pretty sure that was not what he thought was going to occur. I just have a sneaking suspicion he didn't think this was going to happen. Well, yeah, there you go. So, now he's like, oh boy, I wish they would have shot me. So, in any case, yeah, they grabbed him, they nabbed him, they grabbed him, they bagged him, and said, okay, let's see what else you got going on. So, he is in custody. That happened. But then again, a lot happened here, as a matter of fact. There's a lot happened here. We're getting reports that are coming in about what happened. We're getting reports about what was coming in about what happened there from the CT Mirror. They have a great article about this. I'll just briefly go over it here. It says here that from the Associated Press, DC shooting suspect's family expressed concern to Connecticut police. The man accused of opening fire at the White House Correspondent Association dinner railed against Trump administration policies and referred to himself as a, quote, friendly federal assassin in writing sent to family members minutes before an attack that authorities increasingly believe was politically motivated. You think? The writings sent shortly before shots were fired Saturday night at the Washington Hilton made repeated references to President Donald Trump without naming him directly and alluded to grievances over a range of administration actions, including U.S. strikes on boats accused of smuggling drugs in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. Investigators are treating the writings, along with a trail of social media posts and interviews with family members, as some of the clearest evidence yet of the suspect's mindset and possible motives. Authorities uncovered what one law enforcement official described as numerous anti-Trump social media posts linked to the suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old California man accused of trying to breach a security checkpoint at the dinner while armed with multiple guns and knives. Suspect's brother reached out to Connecticut police. Allen's brother contacted police in New London, Connecticut, after receiving the writings, according to the law enforcement official, who was not authorized to discuss the ongoing investigation and spoke on condition of anonymity, and yet he's speaking on the investigation. New London Police Chief Brian M. Wright said in a press release that his department was contacted at 10:49 p.m., quote, by an individual who expressed concern about the incident that occurred earlier in the evening. The reporting individual wanted to share information they believed to be pertinent to the matter. New London police then contacted federal authorities who interviewed the person, Wright said. Allen's sister, who lives in Maryland, told investigators her brother had legally purchased several weapons from a California gun store and kept them at their parents' home in Torrance without their knowledge, according to the official. She described her brother as prone to making radical statements, the official said. Light-skin stuff. The writings examined by AP ran more than 1,000 words and read as a rambling, deeply personal message, opening almost jarringly with a casual, hello, everybody. Like Peter Gabriel's Big Time. Hi there. Before shifting into apologies to family members and co-workers and even strangers he feared could be caught in the violence. The note moved between confession, grievance, and farewell, with Allen thanking people in his life, even as he sought to explain the attack. So, I already read the manifesto to you all there. So, you got that part of it. So, yeah. Jason Willieve always said, biracial. If they're biracial, they're bipolar. What? Okay, all the light-skinned folk gonna be mad at me tonight. Damn! It's gonna be some of that. So, Jason, why you got to go there with it? Can't we talk about tethers? No. Not tonight. Biracial, y'all know how it is. All the ladies in here, if you date a light-skinned dude, it's 50% biracial, 50% bipolar, That's basically what you're going to be dealing with. So you sitting there concentrating on the black half and, missed the forest for the tree. So, no, I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all. Matter of fact, I can hear Dave Chappelle right now. Right now. And some of y'all can too. So in any case, and then he wrote a whole note. He tried to stay serious with it, and he broke into light skin stuff, He tried to stay super gangster with it at first. He's trying to be all solemn, and right before it was over, when he got to the PS is the the bipolar side of the biracial breaking out. He said everything else, and he's, thank you to the many acquaintances I've met. Thank you all for everything. Sincerely, Cold Force, friendly federal assassin Allen. And then stop. P.S. Okay, so, like I expected security cameras, like the one thing I immediately noticed, like the level of incompetence, like if I was an Iranian agent, it's like, okay, this is totally crazy, dude. Man, I was walking up and down the Hilton, dude. You know, after I watched The Office, I watched some of The Office and Friends, and I went down to the lobby, dude. I knew the stairs over there. I scoped the place out a week in advance there. I know the stairs were going to the barroom, dude. I mean, it was just like crazy, dude. Oh, man, they didn't even check my bags, dude. Oh, watch, I got send this text message to my family right before I walk in, dude, because I thought this over. I'm not military, but I thought this over with precision, dude. That's right, home skillet. So, yeah, looking like a young Sinbad. So it's, can't really recommend it. Stay in school, kids. And those gonna be your last damn words the public gonna hear from you. Stay in school, kids. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let him have his way, but you know, here we are. So they're doing their thing. I mean, boy, he went sprinting through that detector, though, didn't he? I mean, he went sprinting through. Okay. And then the one cop over here, now look in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, the one cop did pull their gun. He didn't do nothing. I'm like, okay. So they don't want me to analyze this video for them. They don't want me to do that. I'm like, I just couldn't help but notice, hey, the one cop who did have a gun, he didn't do nothing. So I guess he was, I'm not going to accuse him of saying go get him, but I will just say, by the way, and take a look at all these government employees. They all sitting in here bull jiving. These are a bunch of government employees. They just stand around. Somebody in the chat room said J. Cole. Damn. In any case, yeah, they all just sitting around bull jiving. All right, these are government employees here. They think about their pension. They think about paid days off. They think about their union protections. Man, all right. Somewhere the Iranians are like, why didn't we think of this? Why didn't we think of this? So yeah, the most physically fit and active person here was the damn gunman. So would-be gunman. They need to hire him for the Secret Service. He's the only one apparently thinking. Yeah, that's kind of nutty there also. I'm still not sure what the white square is. I'm not sure what the white square is, but it only shows up when a person comes through the metal detector. So I don't know, maybe it's part of something else. Because you see when they step back there behind it, not really sure what the white square is. It must be something technological. I doubt everybody's carrying a placard that they just drop when they get to the metal detector. So something about that. But in any case, you saw the video one night. So if you want to know what happened last night, this is what occurred last night. So it was that. It was that. Yeah, maybe facial recognition, maybe something. Maybe it's just scanning because it didn't look like it was looking at their faces. AI something. Somebody's scamming more money out of us for technology that don't work. I'm like, okay, how well the AI work here, y'all? Hey, y'all, how well did the AI work here? Sir, this will increase our level of protection. Okay, tell me how well the AI increased the protection here, folks. Let me know how well the AI increased the level of protection here. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Will they blame DEI? They wish they could. Don't worry, you're not going to hear any of the white supremacists, the Matt Walshes, the Tucker Carlsons. Just believe me, DEI, they don't start talking about unqualified people when stuff like this happens. They don't talk about how did you get your job and qualifications when this happens. So don't worry. Once again, this is going to just slip off into the memory hole. They won't bring up who's qualified to be here. Not now. The plane crashing into the truck at LaGuardia. Notice I told y'all they're not going to talk about DEI there either. Did you all notice they all went deadly quiet? Soon as you start showing faces and showing the personnel who were involved, then they get quiet. They don't want to talk about DEI anymore. Like, okay, seems like you're not really concerned about qualifications. If something goes wrong, shouldn't we be watching everybody's? All of them, don't worry. The right-wing MAGA maggots, all the white supremacists, they won't be saying anything now. They're about to get real quiet. If you bring it up, they're going to be like, what's that got to do with anything? Okay. Because this was a failure up and down the damn line. This is a failure up and down the line, so I don't know if they're going to be holding any more Washington Correspondents' dinners at the Washington Hilton. And usually the Correspondents' dinner is a very, subdued affair. It's usually pretty boring. Well, this year was livelier than most. It was livelier than most, but then again, they're not done yet. I want to have an opportunity to discuss these things here because, by the way, y'all, among other stuff going on, that's why I'm glad, it's just one of these things that they're not going to put this stuff in its proper context. They are not going to put any of this in its proper context. Because this occurred also. Right here on your screens, this occurred. Woman seen snatching wine bottles in aftermath of White House Correspondent's dinner shooting.
Oh, please. What?
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, there was this. Yeah, folks, I mean, she's sitting there with her fur coat on, blonde hair, blue-eyed, and I mean, she said, well, since y'all, the liquor coming free tonight, she said, let me grab this. Yeah, y'all, this would have been so ghetto. Okay. If Meg Thee Stallion was doing this, it would have been so ghetto. It's all right. Old girl said, well, look, everybody done left. She said, hey, y'all, I ain't mad at it. Everybody done left. They ain't drinking it. She said, there's some good stuff right here. Let me get this. Let me grab this right quick. Before they put up the yellow tape. Let me go ahead and grab this before they, roll out the yellow tape. It's heard this to a crime scene. She said, all right, let me grab a few bottles. She like, hey, just because they ruined everybody else's evening, they ain't ruining mine. She said, just because he ruined everybody else's evening, that's no excuse for them to ruin mine. Y'all, I ain't mad at her. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm just like, okay, well, don't be acting funny when we do it. If it's going to be legit for one, it need to be legit for all. That's all I'm saying. I ain't mad at you, but don't be looking at us funny when we do it. We do it, and all of a sudden, oh, there goes the neighborhood. I'm like, okay, some folks just got shot up in here. The president's getting rushed off. Like it's a South Central Cartel concert. All right, folks getting rushed up out of here. The police is pointing guns. I'm like, okay. I ain't mad at you. Just don't be acting funny when we do that. Yeah, she said it was a Saturday night. She said she came to get lit one way or the other. So since I couldn't help but notice y'all ain't using these bottles, so let me grab these right quick. Since we're leaving, I would have drunk them here anyway, because that's what they do, folks. They get up in there and get drunk with their glasses. She like, hell, I'm going to get my liquor on. I'm not mad. I am not mad. So, folks, I mean, look, It's not a crisis. It's nothing like that. I need to remind you all of the rules that I have here. Like last night, there's a bunch of folks here, man. Look, don't come in my chat room talking about breaking news. Don't tell me about stuff that's happening that I'm not talking about. There's a reason that I don't interrupt my program for quote unquote breaking news. I don't do that. Don't you come here trying to hijack the chat room to do that either. You saw something interesting, okay. You sit on your page with it. I am not the village crier. You know why? Because I'm not going to say it was a non-event because it was not a non-event. But the bottom line is most of the information that you had last night was wrong or incomplete. So it's like, okay, why don't we wait till we get some facts? Why don't we wait till we know something? I don't believe in talking about stuff and you don't even know what's happened yet. You don't even know what has occurred. And in the internet age, unfortunately, too many people are perfectly gleeful to talk about stuff and have no clue whatsoever what has happened or what hasn't. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever has occurred, it'll be there when we get back. We are not going to interrupt our program talking about Candace Owens because Donald Trump going through some things. And what you found out was it was a Yahoo who ran through the metal detectors. He immediately gets tackled. They strip him down. And that's it. He's off to jail. And man, and by the way, Trump in the damn White House. So, dude, you might get a trial. Then again, you might not.
What?
By the way, dude, we talking about you going to get prosecuted by Trump's White House. So, I mean, you might get a trial. Then again, you may not get one. Trump might keep your ass sitting in the damn jail for the next year. So, I'm just like, y'all, we ain't going to find nothing else. He going to be gone for a minute. You talking about a trial. He's going to be gone for a minute. So, no, I am not going to interrupt anything. If something happens, that's it. It's okay. Well, Jason, there's breaking news. Niggas didn't break out. Have some facts. Don't just talk about stuff because you saw something. Don't do that. So we're here tonight. Now we have a lot more information, a lot more things confirmed, a lot more things solidified. We found the dude's manifesto. You got video of the events from a whole bunch of degrees. And now it's like, it's another day in America for me, man. Jason, how you feel about it? It's another day in America. Cut the check.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's how I feel. So everybody's saying, breaking news. Ain't no breaking news, nigga. You get your ass banned. Well, Jason, don't you want folks to know? They know enough already. Well, what do you think about it, Jason? It's another day in America. Cut the check. That's my standpoint. What it's been, what it's going to be, what it's going to stay. Damn, Jason is a cold-blooded nigga. Yeah. I said the same thing y'all remember during COVID. I said the same thing about the Ukrainian war. I said the same thing about Biden getting kicked out the White House, Trump getting elected. Y'all, my stance does not change. I meant what the hell I said. I don't give a damn what's going on. But Jason, it's a pandemic. Ooh, you better hem my halls, my cough drops, my scarf, and cut my damn check. There's a war in Ukraine. Oh, man, that sounds rough. You better take some of that money you're giving the Ukrainians and hand it up over here and cut my check. Biden getting kicked out the White House. One less mouth to feed. Cut the check. Jason, World War III. Oh, man, we only got 30 minutes to live. Damn, you better hurry up and direct deposit that check then. We ain't got no time to waste. Hey, Jason, there's a gunman trying to get Trump at the White House Correspondent dinner. Oh, man, hey, Trump, you need to hurry up and sign this check right quick. I heard you only got a few more minutes. Trump. You better hurry up and sign this check. Hey, man, don't you see what's happening? Oh, man, I heard something down the damn hall. What do you mean you heard something down the hall? I'm like, hey, man, didn't you hear? The gunman is on his way. You better hurry up and cut the check. The gunman's on his way. Don't you see he running through the metal detector? You need to hurry up and cut the check. The gunman is on his way. Hey, he right down the hall. Hurry up and sign this. Because I don't know if JD going to be in any condition. Hurry up and sign this right quick. Yes, that's my response to everything. No, I'm not going to be rattled. No, I'm not going to be distracted. No, I'm not going to be detoured. I don't give a damn what the headline says. The agenda has not shifted. Ain't nothing you can do to make that agenda shift. Period. So no matter what occurs, well, Jason, why is it you stand on top of the news last night? I was on top of the news last night. I'm not interrupting what the hell I'm talking about. I'm on point. You need to get there. No, don't worry. Candace Owens will be saying that it was Israel.
Oh, please.
Don't worry. Candace Owens will be saying it was Israel. So you already know that. Alex Jones, Candace Owens, they're going to just use their stump speech. Candace is going to come up with some crazy cockamamie bull jive story to say it was Israel. She's going to investigate. I'm not lying. She's going to investigate Cole Allen's white side of the family.
Nigga, what?
She's going to investigate the white side of the family. She ain't going to do a damn thing about the black one. She's going to investigate the white side of the family. I guess those are the ones from Connecticut. What? Okay, so he's from Torrance, California, where the parents' house is, but the folks in Connecticut call the police. Okay, so I don't know. Candace is going to be looking in the white side of the family. If there's any Jewish folk or whatever, she's going to be like, okay. So just mark my words. She's going to be doing an in-depth analysis of the white side of his family, and she's going to claim that they're related to the first shooter in Pennsylvania, and she's going to claim that there were satanic rituals, and the families made a blood oath, and they're part of the Knights Templar. There was a plane flying over D.C. about 30 minutes before Cole Allen entered the Hilton. She's going to find a plane that didn't have a transponder on about 30 minutes before Cole Allen entered the Washington Hilton, and she's going to tell you Erica Kirk was the pilot. What? She's going to tell you the Turning Point USA paid for Cole Allen's plane ticket. Turning Point USA paid for Cole Allen's plane ticket. That's what she'll be saying. Erica Kirk was flying the regional jet. She wanted to make sure he got there. So that's what she'll be doing. So in any case here, folks, like I say, no, I'm not rattled. People, do you expect anything to shock or surprise me at this point? No, not at all. Not at all. It's another day in America. This place is wacky. It is completely unhinged at this point. Folks is out here doing stuff for clout. They just doing stuff to be seen. I'm a 31-year-old teacher from Torrance, California. Let me go get famous, because ain't nothing in life really popping for us light-skinned dudes out here in Torrance right now. Man, nigga, go make you a mixtape. Damn! You about to sit up here and get a life damn sentence for nothing. Okay, the chicks might not be digging you and whatnot. It's okay, go make a mixtape. Go do that. I mean, he looks like the kind of dude that get his hair straightened out for him and whatnot. He can make a mixtape. He needs to be worrying about doing that. No, he's worrying about going to the damn Capitol and starting some mess. So no, y'all are not going to see me going out my mind. No, it is another day in America. This kind of thing happened every day. You know, he kind of reminds me of, so y'all can go look him up, that rapper Prof, P-R-O-F. He looks like the kind of dude who would be rapping just like Prof does. For any of y'all who never heard of Prof, P-R-O-F, you can go look him up in a little bit here. But this dude right here, if he shaved his hair off and put the glasses on, he would look just like Prof. And I would expect him to be rapping the same damn way. I'd expect him to be rapping the same damn way. So I'm like, okay, dude, you could have saved your damn life and made a damn mixtape. You could have done that. No, he doesn't want to do that. So, okay. Go ahead and hold this life sentence then, I suppose. I think it's a whole lot more exciting to stay away from that personally my damn self. I would think that was a whole lot more exciting. He decided to go ahead and just, do what he doing. Oh, they said they never heard of him? They said they never heard of him? Okay. Oh, man.
And I've been putting out this fire for days. Baby, I'm just trying to make a living. Swashbuckling, scraping up chicken for the kitchen. Pardon me, I'm honestly gonna take a couple dishes. Silverware, for instance, it's all in good business practices. Every morning I wake up and think of robbing. Yep, I start my motor, then I'm floating like a coffin. Coffee is a problem.
All right, that was some of Prof. I'm not gonna play a bunch of that stuff right there. I'm like, yeah, he sounds like if he shaved his head, it sounds like he would be like Prof. I expect it to be that. I would expect it to be that. Yeah, there's Prof. If Cole Allen shaved his head, I expect he could have made a mixtape.
It's all in good business practices. Every morning I wake up and think of robbing. Yep, I start my motor, then I'm floating like a coffin. Coffee is a problem. Waves make me nauseous. When we catch a boat, it becomes such a fucking process.
So, yeah, I'm just saying, hey, bro, you could have put out your mixtape. Instead of this damn life sentence you getting ready to run down. So folks are just doing crazy stuff for clout right now, y'all. They're doing it for that. There is no logic. There is no reason. There's not a lot of thought going into it. He was sitting there the whole time. That whole manifesto he wrote was talking about how people gonna be talking about him. Did y'all realize that? His entire manifesto was about how people are gonna be talking about him and what they're gonna be saying. The crazy part is, dude, they ain't gonna be saying nothing in 48 hours. In 48 hours, folks gonna be back to talking about Mike Vrabel and the Patriots, although Mike Vrabel is probably happy right now that something got him off the front cover. Damn! What? Boy, I know Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel were happy to see this. All my football heads, y'all know Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini were happy this happened. They're like, damn, finally something got us off the front page. Finally, everybody got something to talk about other than us. So yeah, there's a number of folk right now. They're like, oh good, the heat is off. The heat's off now. Finally, the news cycle has moved on. So yeah, man, what did you expect? No, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's nothing shocking. The government's incompetent. Okay. This was news. Man, you ain't been down to the DMV and seen how incompetent the government is. You haven't tried to get a passport and seen how incompetent the government is. You thought the Secret Service was any different from any other government employees. The man was talking about, I can't believe it. They just let me walk around the damn building. Okay. You have the most incompetent president in the history of the republic. He was sitting there in the damn ballroom, basically waiting to get whacked. These are the Secret Service agents that he's chosen over a year and a half after he got shot the first damn time. So these are 100% on him. These are all his people. Remember, this is a year and a half later. This is the government that he put together. This is his government. Everybody who is or is not doing their job, that's on him. And as you could see, they wasn't doing a damn thing. They sitting around bull jiving. Man, you seen better security at Disco 9000. I mean, he just said, hey, I'm in here. Where you at, Trump? Okay, well, they all sitting back and whatnot, worrying about their retirement. By the way, you know this, didn't nobody chase him? Hey, nobody left their post. He ran through. Nobody left their post. Nobody started chasing him. They all froze right there. They didn't move. They waited until somebody else handcuffed him and then they moved, so they didn't chase him or anything. They stayed right the hell where they was at. They stayed posted up right where they were. Okay, the government's incompetent. Come on, man. You're surprised? You're surprised to hear the government's incompetent? You want to interrupt my program breaking down Candace Owens? Pause! You want to interrupt my program talking about them going at Candace Owens. So, Jason, hey, they're incompetent in the government. Okay. You don't have a competent government. I mean, you got a government, you just don't have a competent one at any level. Hell, they can barely keep themselves safe. Why do you think they're attacking everybody else? They can barely keep themselves alive. Any random dude can get at them. Any random dude can get at them. I mean, folks, if this is what a random guy off the street could do, imagine what somebody trained by a foreign military could actually pull off. That's what I'm telling you. The only reason Trump's alive is because nobody's really trying to get him. If a foreign government really wanted to clip him, they'd have been got him. They'd have been got him. Folks don't understand these things, man. You got me here to explain this to you, but folks don't really understand it. They don't really know what's going on with it. Not really. Not really. Although that does remind me of something here. That does remind me of something. That does remind me of a few things here. Somebody said something. Somebody in the chat room said something. Yeah, Simone Sanders did say something about it. Yeah, Simone Sanders did say something about it. She did actually. If I can bring it up real quick, I will. But somebody said, where was Simone Sanders? She should have been blocking for him, but she actually did say something about it. I think Breaking Points talked about it. So she actually did say something. Let me go see if I can pull that up real quick, if I can. Okay, yeah. Found that here real quick. By the way, Breaking Points, fair use.
Standard security protocol. So there's that. Number two is, again, for anybody who's attended some of these events, it's the entire building is usually locked down. You can't even go in and out. We also have a lot of testimony from guests who were shocked at the lack of security at the event. I'm not going to play all of this, but this was Simone Sanders, who was recounting how poor the security was at the White House Correspondent Dinner. She says, I actually showed up to the Hilton shortly after 8 p.m. I took a scooter right up to the front of the driveway. Crazy.
Simone Sanders on a scooter.
What?
I'm envisioning that in my head right now. Simone Sanders on a scooter. All right.
Actually showed up to the Hilton shortly after 8 p.m. I took a scooter right up to the front of the driveway. crazy. Again, there's usually barricades, multiple different checkpoints. At this bit matters because, because there's a lot of protesters outside, a lot of those barricades before you actually enter into the driveway. This year, there were no protesters. I came to find out people were milling about in the lobby. When I got off the scooter and into the front of the barricade, usually you have to show ID and a ticket. The folks, the security at the gate, who are not agents, they were identified as Secret Service. They were not identified as Secret Service agents. They did not ask me to show ID. They did not ask me to show a ticket. They said, "Oh, you're good. I'm sure you're going to your room." She said she wasn't even saying there. As I entered into the driveway, I saw the vehicle. The Beast was driving around in a circle of the Hilton driveway. People walking around near it taking photos. Again.
Okay, for those of you who do not know, the Beast is the code name for Limousine 1, the president's limousine. There's basically like 3 of them I think that General Motors makes as a one-off. But the Beast is actually Limousine 1, the president's limousine.
The folks, the security at the gate, who are not agents, they were identified as Secret Service. They were not identified as Secret Service agents. They did not ask me to show ID. They did not ask me to show a ticket. They said, "Oh, you're good. I'm sure you're going to your room." She said she wasn't even saying there. As I entered into the driveway, I saw the vehicle. The Beast was driving around in a circle of the Hilton driveway. People walking around near it taking photos. Again, you're not like... I'm not just a layman. I cover the White House. I've been in the motorcade. I've attended dozens of these events as a professional. And I'm telling you, this is not normal. When I entered into the Hilton, I asked Secret Service agents, which I saw they were identified as Secret Service agents, which way the ballroom was. They said they didn't know. When I finally got to the elevator, no one asked me to show my ID. No one asked me to show a ticket. I got all the way down to the red carpet area without ever showing a ticket to anyone in the Hilton. I'm saying it like this because this is unusual. So I went to the DNC, right? With the whole team, me and Ryan.
Okay, good for you, Sagar. So yeah, y'all, for those of you asking about Simone Sanders, that was Simone Sanders giving her report on her experience at the Washington Correspondents' Dinner last night. And it seems to be universal, y'all. There's a bunch of folks, Carrie Lake, a bunch of other people were talking about this is very lax security. Trump got on the ironically named Truth Social. And him and a bunch of other folks are saying this is all the more reason that he needs to be allowed to finish his ballroom.
What?
He got on there and said this is all the more reason that he needs to be allowed to finish his ballroom. So they don't have to hold these kind of events off the campus of the White House. And this is all the more reason that he needs to be allowed to finish the construction of his ballroom. No, I'm not joking. No, you can go to the thing and go take a look at it. Okay, let me explain something that would upset me here, folks. I don't like it when folks say words like stage. I understand in the internet age, for a lot of you, you've lived your entire lives looking through an iPhone, so everything just seems unreal to you because you don't actually come into physical contact with anything. But no, folks. So anybody talking about staged, I'm going to try to resist the urge to kick you out. But for the ADHD generation who has spent their entire lives looking at the world through a cell phone, so everything to you is happening on the other side of a piece of glass, and you are no longer able